Thank you for tuning into another YouTube video that I'm creating. So my name is Shaka and let's dig in. I don't want to waste any time. So I wanted to come to you guys today to talk through my SisterLock short journey. It hasn't been very long. Let me kind of show you a bit of what it looks like. So my SisterLock journey. So this is truly funny. I shared in another video I posted that I can put in the comments is in my description, sorry, is the fact that I do have an autoimmune disorder, and I have a couple of bald spots throughout my hair, and this does not look like it, thank you Lord. But I just wanted to share with you guys kind of the reason why I did it and where I am so far and my thoughts around it. And if any tips pop up in my head, I'll share it, but this is straight off the top of my head, and I wanted to share some things with you guys, so stay tuned. Yes, so why SisterLocks? Honestly, I am the last person on this planet Earth that would have probably thought that I would have grown locks. Not that I hate them, but I just didn't think that they were a look for me. And just to give you a little background, I do have a cosmetology degree, and I've been doing doing hair for over 20 years. Oh, I guess I was trying to like do hair and years in the same. My bad, homie, my bad. But I've been doing hair for over 20 years, and I went through the, didn't have a relaxer in high school, begging my mom, to my aunt slapping some relaxer in my head without my mom knowing, to cutting my hair in high school, those big bangs that came all the way across the front. And I've done so many other things to my hair, from color, even though I never really went super crazy with color, but cuts all the way, cutting all the way down to almost to my root, to growing my hair out and having it like mid back, kind of bra strap length. And my tongue is getting twisted a lot today. So I've had a ton of hairstyles, and the end of last year my sister started kind of talking about the fact that she wanted to get SisterLocks, and sending me pictures of other people she knows, and why it's the benefits. And I have autoimmune disorder, and she has a friend who also has lupus, and it's done a wealth of good for her hair. So I'm like, okay. So I started looking into it, and I was like, well, I like the fact that the SisterLocks are smaller than regular locks. That's one thing about the other locks. I didn't necessarily want the big chunky locks. For the last maybe 2 or 3 years, I had been doing the faux locks in my hair, either just a crochet type or actually doing it myself, right? And sidebar, the faux locks now used to be called silky dreads back in the days. I'm talking about in the 90s. So there's nothing new under the sun. That is an old style. They just now made it crochet and available in the stores, and now they do it with hair that kind of looks more natural. But if you do it with the Kanekalon hair, it's called silky dreads. Anyway, so I ended up doing faux locks, and I was like, well, I've done faux locks a bit and I like the way it looked. I just never thought that I would actually want to lock my hair. So when my sister talked to me about it, I was like, you know what, maybe this will save me time, because I don't have time with this natural hair. It's growing. I blow it out every couple of months and clip the ends, but I still had the bald spots from the autoimmunity, and I was like, maybe this will just like kind of make me not even forget about it, because I actually stopped paying attention to the bald spots after praying to God and believing him for my healing. I'm like, it's gonna come. I don't have to dissect or keep looking at it every day like I'm crazy. hoping that I see new growth when it's like you're not going to see anything from yesterday to today. So I decided in February of 2020, I'm going to do Sisterlocks. Now, because I have some thinning, I do have spots where it might have thicker spots and spots that are not as thick. So I decided to start the Sisterlocks using double strand twists, right? So I looked up a couple of videos, and I did speak to a Sisterlock consultant, and I had probably done like half of the double strand twist, and I was like, girl, why did you do it so small? Now, I love to do me some small stuff, and the only way I wanted to do Sisterlocks is by making sure I could do it as small as possible, so I have the most flexibility, because that's the thing about dreads, right? When it's big and chunky, you have less flexibility when it comes to styling. And Sisterlocks, because it's smaller, you can do almost anything, because it's kind of like your strand, but just a little bit stronger, because it's interwoven, right? It's weaved in, so you get a little bit of strength. So I'm like, I kind of want to start this myself. Probably because I'm licensed and I've done hair for years, I'm like, most people don't do hair exactly how I want it done, so let me start it off myself, and hopefully I can beg a consultant to help me complete it, because I know they're very like tight knit and you're not supposed to do this. Apologies, but it's my own hair. I don't do it for anybody else. But I wanted to start it pretty small. When I first did it, I had about 807 Sisterlocks. Yeah, crazy. Something's wrong with me. Like, I didn't even think about how I was gonna maintain this, because now my son is 4 years old and he is not trying to give me the time. He ain't trying to make me shine sometimes, so it's a little difficult to retire. But so it started off with 800 or so, and then I decided that some of the ones I had was just super thin, and I was like, you know what, so here, see, this was a bald spot before, but now the hair is growing back. So I was able to do a little dread out of that one. I have another one somewhere in here. Let me see if I find it. Yep. See, another little short one. I was able to do the little thing. And then with the autoimmunity, when the hair grows back, it's a slightly different texture. Then it kind of evens out, right? I have a couple of short pieces here. So I ended up joining some of the existing locks. So now I have about, give or take, 750 or so, right? So I combined maybe 50 locks or so together, and maybe a little over 50. What I like about this is I literally take a shower, go like this to my hair, and go, which is amazing when you have a toddler. Amazing. And I always look like my hair is done, right? I never look, even when it starts growing out. I just did this retie, and I finished about a week ago, so I'm starting to already get new growth, because my hair grows pretty fast. And I think because it's in the lock, the Sisterlock, it grows because you're not combing your hair all the time, your strands are not breaking off, and even though you are supposed to lose 100 strands approximately a day, it's now interwoven, right? So you're seeing kind of growth a little bit more than if you just had your hair out. So that's a benefit. The thing that I don't like about this is the time it takes me to retie. Only because, so fast forward, I finished my original double strand twist for everything maybe like end of February. Everyone knows early March, the US lockdown. I was in Atlanta for work in February. Then 2 weeks after that, I was in Miami in Florida for a couple of days. My sister lives out there. And I come back like March 11th, and March 13th, shut down. Can't go into the office to work, whatever, which I work from home sometimes anyway. So it was actually not a problem for me, because I don't like the winter. So I'm in lockdown and everything's happening. You can't get toilet paper. You can't get paper towel. You can't get Lysol. You can't get Clorox. Like, the world was in a mayhem. So I'm trying to figure it out. My son's daycare is closed. I'm trying to work full time on my computer and like babysit / homeschool daycaring this toddler who is not trying to hear me being on the computer all this time. So all that to say, weeks go by, maybe like 6-7 weeks, and Shaka did not even attempt to retie. So now, remember I did double strand twist. So with double strand twist, it's not as tight. So when I went to retie, I literally had like maybe this whole finger length of hair to retie, because that's when I was starting my Sisterlocks. I was like, let me do the double strand twist, and when it grows out, then I will do the 4-point method to start locking it in the Sisterlock way. But why did I take so long? Like, I should have done that probably like 2 weeks in because it was taking me hours and hours across multiple days, maybe even like a couple of weeks it took me to retie. Lord Jesus, help me. And I was just like, I don't know if I'm here for this. Like, why did I choose to do so much Sisterlocks? Like, I love the look, but like, did I think this through, right? And the thing is, I originally said, okay, I'm gonna start it and then I'll get a consultant to maintain it. But now consultants are closed down, and I'm not trying to be up in somebody's face for like mad hours anyway, because I'm not trying to get COVID in my head. This is what I'm saying. So I ended up completing that retie maybe sometime in May. Yes, from February. So February, March, April, May. Like, I finished in May. And I was like, all right, every 6 weeks, you're going to do it, girl. You're going to do it. Girl, June came. It was nice outside. I'm like, I don't know if I want to sit down and retie this thing. This is crazy. So fast forward to May. So now July, which is, actually, I started maybe the end of June. So it was about 6 weeks. And I was just like, this is taking too long. Because what happened was, it was so small and I couldn't see the back. There was a couple that were kind of intertwined with each other. So like me, like taking it apart, trying to like really separate them. All of that was just like frustrating me. And then I ended up doing like all the front. So I did all of this here from ear to ear. And I said, okay, I'll do the back. I did like 2 little parts in the back. And girl, like a week and a half passed by. And I was like, no, Shaka, like you got to finish this. Like you need to focus and finish this. So took my time, did the back. And then I was like, you know what? Let me just, at that point, the front already needed a level of retie. It wasn't like a lot, maybe like about this much had grown since I retied. So I ended up finishing all the back, and then I just redid a fresh in the front, which is, I finished like a week and a half ago. So like mid-July. So I was like, okay, maybe because of the accelerated way that my hair is growing now, I need to do this probably every 3 to 4 weeks instead of every 6 weeks, at least to start, because I want to make sure that I get a good foundation. And I'll try to get like a thicker dread to like show you guys, right? So you see this. So the inner lock is probably like through here, and then this part is double strand twist. And another thing that I was doing while I was retying was, because it was 2 strand twist, the bottom would get unraveled. So I would spend time retwisting the bottom and then putting like a short braid and then also retying it. So it's actually taking me double time to do it. So my recommendation is, if you are deciding on, going towards a Sisterlocks and you want to do it using the 2-strand method first, I suggest that you 2-strand twist it, and then you do a little braid at the bottom to kind of help lock it a bit. Now, depending on your hair texture, you'll still have a little bit of unraveling with the braids, but it's not going to be at the level that you would receive, or you would get with the 2-strand twist. So that's kind of my recommendation, and that's what I've been doing. As I, sometimes I'll do it when I'm retying. Sometimes I'm like, I'm not doing this no more when I'm retying, because it just accelerates. It just increases the amount of time it's going to take me to complete the whole retie. But then I'll have moments like this where I'm like looking at TV or something, and I'll feel my hair, and I'll say, oh, okay, this is a lot, so let me kind of just double strand it and whatever. double strand it, and then do the braid at the end. So that has been working. Now, I decided on my own to do half 50% apple cider vinegar and water and spray my scalp periodically through, because I had the 2-strand twist. I didn't want to shampoo it as much because shampooing will also unravel the 2-strand twist. So I try to spray it with the apple cider vinegar and water combination as much as possible to kind of cleanse the scalp. Now, just to show you kind of how small can't even like get in here. Let me go in here. So just so you see the length, the size of the lock. See? So it's super tiny. This is why I actually like this size. So I could have probably done some of them a little bit bigger because I like it. I don't want it to be super big, but I like kind of like the feel of this because it, to me, it gives it a soft look having this 2-strand twist on the bottom, because I didn't want it to look like stiff dreads and stuff like that. I think I really like it. I can do middle parts. I can do, sometimes I even put it all up into a high ponytail and it looks like I just have natural hair. Ooh, something, little hair came in my tongue there. And yeah, so that is it. I don't know if you guys can see, but here's an area that has bald spots, and if you notice, the parting of the sections are bigger, because if I had made it small, it would have been too small and probably broken off, and I don't want to break off some of my hair that is growing back. And I can feel like the little vellus hair growing back in, so hopefully and there's one on this side too. This is just the bigger bald spots that I have. So I feel kind of the vellus hair growing back. So yeah, I mean, that is it. I mean, for me, it's good. It's good. But I can't lie. Like, maybe before I finished this retie, I was just like, girl, you better take some clippers and cut this whole thing mug off your head, because you don't have the time for this. Like, I'm working crazy hours for work because now we're all remote and people just keep putting meetings on my calendar. But I don't know if I have the dedication right now. I don't know what I was thinking. But I do absolutely love the look. Like, I cannot even deny the fact that I love the way it looks on me. I love the ease of it. I love the flexibility of it. I just don't like the retie process. So pray for me that the Lord sends me someone that can help me retie my hair, Lord Father, so I can finish it in one day as opposed to across multiple days. But anyway, just wanted to share a quick tidbit about my SisterLock journey. And if you have any questions about it, if you want any recommendations, definitely let me know. And I will answer some of your comments. Another thing that I do want to mention real quick before we leave, I know they talk about not doing any like moisture. I do, not often. I do take some castor oil, and I have this other oil that I make that also has some sulfur in it, and I do put it in my scalp, mainly because I do have those bald spots from my autoimmune disorder, but also to keep my scalp moisturized. Like, I find that my scalp gets kind of dry and I don't want to be flaking like crazy, so I use the oil sparingly, and I don't do it weekly, so it's like maybe once a month, just to make sure that I have my scalp is not crazy. And especially since I'm already at the point where I'm tying, doing the interlock method, the 4-point method for 4-point rotation for the SisterLocks. I'm like, oh, it's already kind of weaved. Whether it takes 4 months, a year, 2 years to actually lock up, I'm indifferent about that. Like, that is not gonna make me feel like, oh yeah, my SisterLocks is finally locking. I like the fullness that it already has now. It may get fuller, it may stay the same, not sure yet, but I'll definitely update you guys on my journey. Again, thanks for stopping by. Leave any comments or questions you may have, and I'll be sure to answer you. Until next time, bye. Thank you for tuning in to hear a little bit more about my SisterLock journey. Don't forget to subscribe. I'm Shaka Sarant, talking all things faith, momhood, tech, and beauty. Don't forget to check out my website at shakasarant.com. Subscribe below and turn on notifications so you know when I post a new video. Talk to you soon and remain blessed.